Hello, everyone. I wanted to go over some of the basics of the TPP, and this is what's just happened. For those of you who don't know, this morning multiple countries agreed to a deal which is called the TPP. The TPP is the biggest, newest, most tyrannical, most controlling agreement that multiple countries have agreed to. Corporations are now aligned with the governments. They have the same power that governments do because of the TPP. The TPP is the number one biggest threat to the truth movement because of the free flow of information and how it can be completely thwarted and stopped dead in its tracks. I believe I'm beginning to fully grasp and understand as to what's been going on with YouTube lately and Google lately. Is this whole time they have been preparing for the TPP. Under the TPP, the biggest global threat to the internet agreed as campaigners warned that secret pact could bring huge new restrictions to the internet. The free flow of information that has become the internet is one of the most essential parts of how we keep people informed. YouTube was an essential part in how we keep people informed. A lot of people are beginning to notice a difference on YouTube. Trust me, my friends, that is going to begin to change drastically, especially now since this is in play. It began in June. YouTube changed their policies. I've been reporting on this quite a bit lately, and I keep repeating it. I know I do, and for the people who are tired of hearing it, I'm sorry, but let me tell you how it works. This is how screwed up YouTube is. I have approximately 78,000 subscribers, correct? You go look at the number if you don't believe me. Out of those 78,000 people, individuals, who are supposed to automatically, because of YouTube's syndication feeds and emails that they send out, they're supposed to see the new videos that I post. Analytically speaking, I've ran the numbers. Check this out. 88% of the views that I get on YouTube are from new people, which means they've never subscribed, they've never heard of my channel before. It's a good thing, but the bad thing is 14% of the people who subscribe to this channel, who have chosen to be updated, who have chosen to continually seek information, are not continually being informed that I have posted a new video or that Emma's posted a new video. You explain to me how that's possible unless there's an algorithm in the syndication feed that blocks you from seeing what people post. I'm not making this up because you're about to see a lot more of that, and it's not just with me, and other people are going to begin to change how they do things. Believe me, it's not necessarily new, but we're reaching the next level of it. It's going to get to a point, and I promise you this, it'll get to a point where the articles that we post will actually render on Facebook and on YouTube and other social media outlets where they're just not going to allow it. And it'll be where I'm going to start getting attacked for articles harder than I ever have, to the point where I'm not going to make like a subscription, a monetary subscription for it. It'll just be, to view this article, you'll have to subscribe for a free account. It'll get to that point. To view this podcast, you're going to have to subscribe for a free account. It will get to that point where everything will have to be membership based, because Google, in the wonderful world of Google, it'll turn into a system where people who post controversial topics and then post it to like Google search engines, where you do it through SEO, search engine optimization, it will end up that Google will ping the company that you attacked or the topic you hit. If it hits the right person who is in this TPP, they can come after you legally. Under the TPP, remember, if I started some sort of a movement against a corporation, I can be sued and thrown in jail because they've now been given the power of government. You think I'm making this up. I promise you I'm not. If you don't believe me, then you are more than welcome to find out the hard way. And when information is gone, then go sign up to the website. Watch the hour-and-a-half video that I've compiled of the sustainable development, and I've compiled the TPP. into one. Go watch it. You will see what I am stating is coming to fruition. Over the course of the next 15 years, everything is going to change. And guess who's on that list? The people who believe in free-flowing information, the people who believe in our rights, the Constitution. Beyond belief, it's already being trampled on. Beyond belief, we have United Nations police in our cities. That was signed. They've already started putting people in the buildings for the United Nations centers, the global police force. Hello, we have a constitution. Doesn't that render it illegal? Well, apparently our government doesn't think so. Must be something to do with sustainable development. Because sustainable development is just as bad as the TPP. Every country on the planet just signed up for sustainable development. And most countries signed up for the TPP. We are in so much trouble with this. Let me read through this article. This is from The Independent. The TPP signed is the biggest global threat to the internet, agreed, as campaigners warn that secret pact could bring huge new restrictions to the internet. The Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement covers 40% of the world's economies. How many countries is that? And sets huge new rules for online businesses as well as traditional ones. Danger TPP coming. That's a great image. An agreement that some campaigners have called the biggest global threat to the internet has just been signed, potentially bringing huge new restrictions on what people can do with their computers. It's going to affect how you eat. If you take prescription medicine, it's going to affect you. If you send your kid to school, guess what? It's going to affect you too because it's education. I forgot what the next one was. 40% of the global economy. There's so much more. This is every aspect of our life has just been affected since this morning. Now, I'm pretty sure the guy who's representing the United States, I didn't vote for him. That's right. Because these deals were done in back secret rooms. I can only tell you guys so much that things are about to change. And then if I take action for it, and I'm getting flack for taking action, because I still want to provide people with information, because I still want to expose the truth to the best of my ability, I can only warn you so much before you decide to listen. We are in a time period of a ticking time bomb. It's a matter of time before everything changes drastically. I can tell you right now, just like they have done thus far, it's not going to be an overnight change. It's not going to be one swift and quick move. This will take months. Just as they've stated in the live stream that they did this morning, it will take months for them to fully get this thing implemented. It will take years for it to fully be in action. The reason why it's not just going to be one swift move overnight is because they'd have uproar. They would have riots. They would have people who would just completely disagree. But the people who have no idea what the TPP is, who don't even really recognize that there's been a change in information flowing, and there's been a change in the food tastes different, our kids are learning different things, because they do it over a period of time to where people are so distracted with their daily life that nobody's going to recognize what's happened. And before you know it, come 15 years, everything has changed. 5 years, come 2 years, everything has changed again. Now, the Trans-Pacific Partnership is the conclusion of 5 years of negotiations and will cover 40% of the world's economy. Its claimed purpose is to create a unified economic bloc so that companies and businesses can trade more easily. But it also puts many of the central principles of the internet in doubt, according to campaigners. One particularly controversial part of the provisions make it a crime to reveal corporate wrongdoing through a computer system. Let me read that again. One particularly controversial part of the provisions make it a crime to reveal corporate wrongdoing through a computer system. Hi, I do that every day. Experts have pointed out that the wording is very vague. and could lead to whistleblowers being penalized for sharing important information and lead to journalists stopping reporting on them. Hi, can I say that one more time for me to make you register it? And lead to journalists stopping reporting on them. I told you what happened on YouTube with Jade Helm. You think that was just a test? No, that was the new way of life. That if there's a controversial topic in YouTube's policies, they're not going to allow it in search results. If a provision can make it a crime to reveal corporate wrongdoing, the corporations are equal to governments. Actually, I don't even think the governments can do that, because if you expose something for the government, it's not a crime. I mean, you're going to receive maybe some intimidation campaigns for exposing some of their stuff. But now corporations, if you expose what they do, it can be considered a crime? A crime to prevent GMOs, a crime to prevent wrongdoing. Do you see what I'm trying to get through to people? I noticed this was going to happen. I didn't even think it had anything to do with the TPP right away. But as I began to do more of my research, I figured something out. In June, we were talking about the TPP. What's happened most recently? Lo and behold, the TPP affiliates or group was meeting. Others require that online content providers such as YouTube and Facebook must take down content if they receive just one complaint. I can tell you only so much. As they are in the US, that will be harmful for startups looking to build such businesses, since they will be required to have resources, I'm getting frustrated, to respond to every complaint. Experts have pointed out, in 2013, when the partnership was still being discussed, the Electronic Freedom Foundation called TPP one of the worst global threats to the internet. The changes are dangerous because to unify the various countries in the partnerships, rules on intellectual property, and other internet law, they are opting to take the US's largely very restrictive rules. I can warn you, I can tell you, I can show you, but one day I will not be on YouTube anymore because I will have been kicked off. Go back 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago when I made the first videos about YouTube and at the end of the truth movement. Go back and look. Go back and watch it. I'll leave the link. I'm not playing around. I'm sorry. I get so frustrated because it's such crap. It is not fair. Who gave corporate people the ability to be above governments? Sustainable development is much worse than what this is, the TPP. You're talking about the New World Order, disorder. It is the biggest global threat to our internet. I'm going to say it again. I want to do what I do. I love what I do. I don't care how much heat I get, how much intimidation I get. I'm called to do this. I feel like I'm called to do this. So I'm going to do what I do. And if you want to watch all of the massive explosive and reporting and videos that we do, the ones that actually really go in depth, and some of them reach out to about 2 hours long, check it out. IntelRevolution.com. Subscribe today. $3 a month and $27 for your first year. I'm going to keep warning you on YouTube that my information, other truthers' information, will not be there for much longer. Thank you all for watching and listening. Eventually, I won't have to say watching anymore because I won't be on YouTube anymore because of their crap. Everybody else is going to have to change the way we do stuff on the truther movement. We're all going to have to change and adapt to the new policies and rules that have gone to the TPP because we still have to stay informed. We have to. I want to thank you all for watching and listening. God bless and carry on.